brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Ah, nice, quiet morning at the cabin. The fire's roaring. The mic socks are fresh because we are all a little bit paranoid about whooping cough. And coronavirus? Good Lord. What else do we have to worry about in this territory? We don't want to get into that. It's too early for that. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. Lecter keeping you company. Dark and gloomy this morning. Not gloomy. That's too much. It's dark. It's not bright. That's what I'm getting at here, basically. 7:02. A very reasonable temperature outside. Although I don't have it right in front of me because for some reason the Cabin Radio playout software, and you may recognize this as a running theme here at Cabin Radio, our ridiculously accurate playout software weather system. It's just gone on an extended vacation. I don't think it believes that it's not minus 40 anymore. It hasn't checked back in. And it's just like, no. Call me at the end of March. Enjoy your February. Enjoy your Snow King Festival. I'll be back in spring when things are reasonable. It's just not software developed in the North. That's the major problem here. Might hear from AJ as we move along. No Wheel today. His voice is in rough shape. I think he might have eaten some gravel. I don't know why you would have done that.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Lecter with you on your Morning at the Cabin. I know, yes, you're used to and look forward to hearing the dulcet tones of Mr. Jesse Wheeler each and every morning. However, his tones are not so dulcet this morning. They are gravelly and sore, and I think he'd just be in a bad mood all morning if he were here. So he's taken the day off. As you may or may not know, there is a big production with Knack coming up in the next few months or so, a Queen musical, We Will Rock You. Jesse is going to be part of that. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about this. I feel like he's mentioned it on air already. But either way, obviously, as you may imagine, a musical production featuring the music of Queen is going to have some demands on your vocal cords. So he was sick over Christmas, came back. His voice has been giving him grief pretty much ever since then. I think he sounded great. He's not so convinced. But I know, being the professional, the perfectionist that he is, wants to make sure his voice is in absolute perfect condition for that. This is a big deal because not only is he missing Mornings at the Cabin, and we know that he loves dearly being here each and every morning to chat with you about what's going on here at Cabin Radio, hosting this show. It is his pride and joy, the love of his life. But he also loves theater. So that's important. But he also, and I think this might be ahead of either of the two I just mentioned, he loves trivia. Pub Stumpers trivia at the Yellowknife Elks each and every Wednesday. We have a team, as you may or may not know. We talk about it from time to time on the morning show. Jesse is the unquestioned captain of said trivia team. He, without fail, sends out a message every Wednesday, every week, to make sure, take a tally of who is going to be there, what kind of team he can expect to be supporting him in our ongoing trivia triumph endeavors. And it's amazing. It's the most remarkable thing. He is so dedicated to this trivia team, and it makes me proud to be a part of it. He missed trivia last night. Yeah. That should give you a sense of just how dire things are. So, Jesse, if you're listening, get better well. Take care of that voice. Those golden tones, we need those on stage. We need those here on Mornings at the Cabin. So take care of them, and we look forward to hearing you perhaps tomorrow, perhaps not. We shall see. Elsewhere, AJ and I have been putting our bodies on the line for this station. What am I talking about? Well, of course I'm talking about Burger Week, because Burger Week is presented by us right here at the Cabin. And it's going on right now. It started yesterday. Yesterday was the first official day of Burger Week. So you can go to any of the participating restaurants, which include BB Cooking at the North Star Building, Copper House Eatery and Lounge, Coyotes Bistro, the Dancing Moose Cafe, Gourmet Cup, Japan Bakery in Center Square Mall, the Monkey Tree Pub, Steak Restaurant, Trader's Grill and Trapline Lounge, and the Woodyard Brew House and Eatery. They all have different burger options for you. A wide array of burgers, which is the coolest thing about this, that we opened it up to all of the respected chefs at each of these establishments, and they ran wild with it. If you go to cabinradio.ca, if you're just hearing about Burger Week now, I don't know how that's possible, but if you're a follower of the Cabin and you're just hearing about Burger Week now, well, day one was yesterday. Go to cabinradio.ca, read up on all the burger options. We don't necessarily expect you to try them all. Only a crazy person would do that. Only crazy people named AJ and Lecter would do that. Let's be honest. We all love burgers. We all know they're a comfort food of sorts. Probably not supposed to be part of your daily diet. But again, Cabin Radio is presenting Burger Week, and AJ and I are just so dedicated to this station and to this promotion that we're like, you know what? We'll just throw our health aside. That's not important. What's important is making sure that Burger Week is a huge success. So it started yesterday. It runs right through to January 28th. What you want to do is you want to visit any of these participating establishments, and you can pick up your passport there, your Burger Week passport, or you can pick your Burger Week passport up right here at Cabin Radio. And then you go, you try at least 3 burgers, minimum of 3 burgers, and you are possibly in to win some great prizes courtesy of our sponsors. And plus, the added bonus of this is that portions of each burger that you ingest, not the food itself, portions of the money raised that you're paying for these burgers. Yes, they're not free. You do have to pay for the burgers. You're not Cabin Radio, after all. Goes to the YK Food Bank, which is an awesome initiative and an awesome charity that we are very proud to support here at Cabin Radio. So cabinradio.ca, check out Burger Week. I am joined in studio right now by the man himself, joining me in putting our bodies on the line, Mr. AJ Goodwin. How you doing, sir?
Good. No one else willing to do the hard work and eat 2 burgers a day.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse's dabbling.
He had 1 full burger all week.
And he's out this morning.
And he's out. He couldn't handle it. Couldn't cut it.
Not a warrior like these two.
Didn't have the mustard.
Whoa!
Burger reference.
You are, your pun game.
Fresh out the gates.
Is just out of control. That is one takeaway that has been, one observation that has been made about Burger Week already. AJ's puns. And you can check these out. We're doing videos of each and every burger we test. Test? Sounds weird.
Yeah.
We try.
We made it through this one. It's good.
Yeah, we're doing videos of each and every burger that we try during Burger Week, and you can check them out right now at the Cabin Radio Facebook page, maybe cabinradio.ca as well. But if you go to the Cabin Radio Facebook page right now, you can check out our videos from Japan Bakery, from Coyotes Bistro, and the Copper House Eatery and Lounge is the latest one up there right now. More to come. We did do 2 more. Yesterday, we visited the Dancing Moose.
Yep.
And the Woodyard.
Oh, yeah.
Both fine entries.
Delicious.
Into Burger Week. So check that out. Cabin Radio Facebook page. More videos to come. More bodily, physical punishment for AJ and I to come. And more great puns.
Well, you make them sound so bad.
Well, I was saying this earlier, and I mean, I don't think anyone's under the illusion that burgers should be part of your daily diet. Right?
You're right.
Yeah.
That was like last night at the Woodyard. Andre, our waitress, said that Halifax has a burger week.
Yes.
And it's huge.
And it's like
massive.
57 burgers or something like that.
Exactly. And there's one man that prides himself in eating every single burger on that list in 1 week.
That guy's a monster.
I instantly felt so much better about myself.
Oh, yeah.
And this week.
Yeah, what we are doing is small potatoes.
Those are rookie numbers.
Those are rookie numbers without question. But regardless, that guy is a freak of nature to some degree.
A hero.
Or just, you might say that.
A hero.
You might
someone to
call him
look
a
up to.
Not someone to emulate, though, I don't think. So happily, he is doing that for us. He is setting the bar. We are falling way short of that bar, AJ and I. But Burger Week in Yellowknife, presented by Cabin Radio, is, setting the bar locally. Maybe we'll get to a 57 burger edition as we move forward in the future, because this has been so popular that I would be shocked if this is the last Burger Week that we have here in Yellowknife.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We are joined now live on the phone by a much longed for voice here at the Cabin, Mr. Ollie Williams. How you doing, sir?
I'm not the one who's longing for their voice this morning, from what I understand.
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah, no, Jesse is out of commission. He is taking some care of the vocal cords.
I can't believe this. This is amazing. My absence has led to Jesse overworking himself so hard that he has officially talked himself hoarse.
Like we were laughing this morning. I said, I'm happy that he took the show off. If his voice is in that rough a shape, I'm happy he took the show off. I'm, because obviously he's got a big show coming up at NAC. They're putting on the Queen We Will Rock You show, and he's a part of that. So obviously his voice has to be in tip-top condition for that. But the thing that really blew me away and really gave me the sense of gravity as to how bad his voice was, he missed trivia last night.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Say it's not so.
It's so.
How do you guys constantly yell at trivia?
Well, Jesse does, yeah.
Hang on. Time out. AJ, your voice sounds even worse. Say some more words.
Ollie, you've been away for a little bit. This is a bit of a common trend here on the morning show. My first few words kind of go up and down. They frog a little bit, and then it mellows out.
Then you get those nice rich tones.
Yeah, now I'm back, baby, with that smooth baritone.
It's good to know that everybody's feeling so fit and healthy during my absence. So hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to, relatively warm but depressingly grey England.
Yeah, how are things across the pond there?
Yeah, I'm standing by the side of the road, just a small, trading estate kind of thing where I'm doing a bit of work right now. Before I make it home on the weekend back to Yellowknife.
Yeah.
It's all very sort of British pleasant, by which I mean not very.
Are you excited to be home? Coming home soon?
I'm really excited to be home. Obviously, I think, as most people listening will know, I've been over here for pretty sad reasons with my dad passing away. But I've had a lot of, it's been very good to see family and to see a lot of friends who I've not seen for a very long time, and to actually have the time, rather than having a week to try and see as many people as is humanly possible, actually having a few weeks to see people multiple times and actually see my friends more than once has been a nice thing that I haven't had for many, many years. But I'm ready to come home. I miss Yellowknife, and I miss everybody there, and I miss my own bed, and I'm kind of bored of living out of a suitcase for 6 weeks. So yes, looking forward to being back.
So you've taken care of some business over there, and obviously with this whole Meghan and Harry situation over there, that's just been piled on to you, because obviously you've had to address that.
Obviously, the last time I was on the morning show and this time on the morning show, and not once in between. You Canadians are far more into this than anybody here is.
Really? Are they completely over it over there?
I have not had one conversation with about that with anyone here.
Wow.
Not one. I'm trying to think now. Have I actually spoken to anyone about this? And I think the answer is no. It's the sort of thing where people are just like, yeah, whatever, trying to leave Britain. Don't blame you.
Okay, I mean, that's fair enough. Like, we have accommodations to make over here. We got to find Harry a job.
Yeah, we got rooms to book.
Well, I keep waiting. We are trying to hire a reporter for Fort Simpson.
Oh, there we go.
And it did occur to me that there are certain optics implications, but it did occur to me that might be a very interesting application to receive. Not necessarily sure that the thing Fort Simpson needs right now in terms of local news representation is a member of the British monarchy, but I would welcome the application.
Yeah, maybe throw it out there.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
All right, so we actually brought you on, surprisingly, not to get some follow-up on Harry and Meghan. No, we brought you on this morning to talk about a really cool story that Emily wrote, and it's on cabinradio.ca. She posted it yesterday afternoon. You can read it right now. NWT Tourism takes Virginia Falls to the streets with virtual reality, which sounds really awesome. So in Vancouver, Calgary, and Toronto, there's going to be a bit of an initiative to show people just the beauty that they can expect if they so choose to visit our beautiful territory.
Yeah. Now, have you ever worn a virtual reality headset before?
I have, yes.
Okay. What were you watching in it at the time?
Well, I was confined to a cage underwater, and I was watching really scary sharks swim around me.
And then you put the VR on?
That's my question. I thought you meant you had to go in the cage and underwater to put the thing on.
In the most dangerous setting ever, you had to put a VR on and you're just sitting in the living room.
No, it was part of the trade show. I think I don't know if it was last year or if it was 2 years ago, but Northwest Tel had a virtual reality headset display, and yeah, that was it.
Okay.
You popped on the headset and you were just in the shark cage and supposedly about to be eaten. You weren't actually sure what was going to happen.
What a frightening promotion.
They don't have the shark cage in the Northwest Territories tourism one. They've wisely elected to have no experiences in the tourism one where you might end up being slaughtered by wild animals. The Virginia Falls is really cool. I've had a little demo of this. The reindeer one is my favorite. You get to hang out with the reindeer herd in one of the videos, and I started off looking in the wrong direction and was like admiring the scenery off in the distance and the pingos and things like that, and thinking, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, but like these reindeer must be pretty far away, and they just casually turned to the right. It's like, oh my god, there's like 3,000 reindeer just hanging out on my right hand side, and it took me a solid 5 or 10 seconds to even notice they were there.
They're just staring at you like, buddy, we've been here literally the entire time you have.
We're over here.
They're really quiet reindeer. What do you want from me? They're all tiptoeing. You can hear just like in the background, like diddly, 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 diddly. No, they were very cute.
We're used to having jingle bells accompany a reindeer.
Yeah, that was Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reindeers one is very, very cool. Now the thing with this is, so the way that this works is they've got a car that's all decked out. It's been branded in Spectacular Northwest Territories logo and everything, and you. The idea is that they'll drive around these cities and get people who want to come and check it out. And you pop in the back of the car, you put the headset on, and you kind of like get driven around the city. Particularly, they're using it almost like a cab service. If you need to get somewhere, the car will pick you up, and on the ride, kind of like a cash cab kind of thing, except more of a like caribou cab, you end up sitting in the back and you get the headset on. Now, all I will say is, don't do that if you're travel sick.
Okay.
Because I can imagine that a VR headset, if you're the kind of person that can't really read a book in the back of a car,
right?
For the love of all that is holy, don't put a VR headset on and go over the Virginia Falls.
Fair enough.
While in the back of the spectacular NWT car, because I don't know how much budget they've built in for cleaning. But it is really, really cool. So you get to go in the car and do this, and it's also turning up at these trade shows as well. So it's Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto. They have these big tourism trade shows where tourist industry types come along, but also just regular people who happen to be in town and want to get ideas and inspiration can come along. And people who come and try out the VR also get to enter for the chance to win trips to do different things in the NWT. So it's nice. A pretty cool campaign.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So it's on cabinradio.ca, as I mentioned. We also posted it on the Cabin Radio Facebook page. And I would not just a few comments on this one. And I thought it was interesting because they really ran the spectrum of takes you could have on this. Samantha Stewart, host of Cabin Country, said, "That's so awesome. I've done a few unforgettable trips into the Nahanni, that's for sure. Takes your breath away." So obviously, Sam, a huge advocate of this idea. Robert commented saying, "I've spent large portions of my summers in my 20s at Virginia Falls, and having tried this VR, I gotta say, it's really like being there again." So that's really cool to hear from a first-hand perspective of someone who's been there in real life and seen this VR version, that he's giving it his seal of approval. So that's really cool. And then, of course, the third comment, there's always got to be the smartass.
Oh, here we go.
But I thought it was actually a really kind of an interesting take. Stuart, said, the economy, in quotes, the economy of the NWT will look toward tourism as a boost to its failing numbers. NWT, in quotes. Now you can visit the North without actually having to go there.
Stay warm. Visit the falls.
I mean, when was the last time that you put on like a 2-minute YouTube video of New Zealand? And then at the end of it, we're like, been there, done that.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, I'm sure there is, unfortunately, probably a population of people who might think that way. They're like, well, I just experienced that from the comfort of my own home. Why would I, go out there and actually experience it? I got the same thing at home.
We don't want them. They can stay at home. They're not Northwest Territories visitors.
That's right.
They haven't passed the bar. They haven't passed the entry test then, have they?
They don't
If you
deserve
watch
to
a
be
1
here.
minute 30 VR video of Virginia Falls and think, oh, great, sweet, don't need to bother going there now, then blooming well stay away.
Agreed. Yes, I just thought it was a funny comment. But yeah, I agree. Obviously, the thought is that, people in the south of Canada and elsewhere in the world, they don't know much about the Northwest Territories. Even us who do live here, a lot of us have a lot of unexplored territory. So it is really cool that we have something to show us what we should go see and experience with, our own 2 feet and our own 2 eyes rather than through a screen.
Definitely. I have never been to the Nahanni, and that is near the top of my list. I really look forward to the day that I get to go to the Nahanni for sure.
Well, perhaps a cabin radio field trip in the future.
Morning show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, you must be able to sell that to someone. I don't know. Have we tried to get money out of the Dial Sheep recently? Maybe they'll sponsor a show?
No, I'm just waiting to hear back.
Okay.
We got a call in.
Yeah, I think I have the right email, but we'll see.
All right. So,
at nahanni.com.
That's what I tried.
Very nice. All right. So you can read more about that story at cabinradio.ca. And as I mentioned, you can check that out on the Cabin Radio Facebook page as well, if that is your chosen route. Ollie, great to hear from you, my friend. And we look forward to seeing you back in town as of Saturday.
Last thing Saturday night, so I will be in Monday morning. Looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Looking forward to seeing you again and giving you a big hug, my friend.
Alrighty. I look forward to that. Have a lovely morning.
Thanks, Ollie.
You'll accept the hug, right? That's okay? I have your consent?
I look forward to the hug. I said
perfect.
I look forward to the hug.
Perfect. I wasn't sure.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Lots of good news on cabinradio.ca today. Cool stories. We try to break from the doom and gloom once in a while.
Yeah, sprinkle in some positivity.
Yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes we don't have a choice.
Sometimes she goes,
Yeah.
sometimes she doesn't.
Like
The
Blue
way she
Monday.
goes.
I'm surprised we didn't have a bunch of heavy hitter news articles on Blue Monday.
Don't even bring up Blue Monday. What a disaster that was. Holy. I'm just glad we're past it.
It's Green Thursday now. We got the green light.
Gabriel Darku is a name that I may be pronouncing wrong, but hopefully I nailed it. And if so, it should be familiar to more than a few Yellowknifers. He is a Yellowknifer here. Is he born and raised?
I don't know if he's born and raised, but he definitely went to high school here at least. And I think he did some middle school as well.
Okay, so he is no longer living in Yellowknife because he is on to some pretty cool things in his life and his career. He has got a show that is set to make its Netflix debut tonight. It's called October Faction, and it's pretty cool. I don't know how many Yellowknifers can say that they have. I don't know if he has a starring role. Actually, I haven't.
I think he's a pretty big role in it.
Okay.
Because this is actually, I believe it's his second Netflix show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's done one before, and it was probably like a cast of maybe 5 or 6 primary roles.
Okay.
And he was one of them.
Wow, good for him. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is old hat for him now.
Yeah,
Why are we even talking about
We're
this?
just talking about a pretty standard acting career at this stage.
But he's 24 years old, so obviously just at the very start of what will hopefully be a very successful career in acting. But like how many Yellowknifers can say that they have had not let alone a starring role, but just a role in a Netflix production? Pretty cool stuff for Gabriel. And you actually know him somewhat well?
I wouldn't say that. I met him when he was a kid.
Okay.
He was in high school. He's playing volleyball.
Right.
And actually just an incredible athlete.
Did you coach him?
No, I coached against him.
Oh.
So he was on the other team. So I had a lot of respect for him because he whooped my team's butt because he could jump out of the building. He was like, he had some serious hops.
Oh, wow. Well, that's some incredible objectivity from our own AJ Goodwin. No, he was a jerk. He beat the living tar out of us every night.
And I'd like to say that, but he was also just such a nice kid.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
The worst. Like, I wanted to really not like him at all because he was just beating the pants off my team. But yeah, I did get a chance to meet him, and he was just an absolute treat. Like, he's so nice. Had a really good head on his shoulders, and yeah, I got a chance to talk to him in Calgary recently. Last year I was down for a volleyball tournament with the girls, and he was there, and he actually asked if he could take some pictures. He was dabbling in some photography, as you do if you're not talented enough.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm starting to get there.
Shots fired.
Now that he's an adult, I can start to dislike his talent.
Got to find something to dislike about this kid.
So, yeah, he was nice enough to come down. He got some really great shots, and we were chatting a little bit, and he was telling me that he started this acting. He went to acting school because he worked for McDonald's, and they sent out a notice saying, is anyone interested in doing a commercial? So he signed up, and he got accepted, and he went actually down to Toronto to do this commercial, and got to do the whole experience. You know, he was on set, he went through all the motions, and said he just fell in love with it. Like, something as simple as a commercial, he just said the whole shebang was awesome, and he loved it. So that's what motivated him to go to school in Toronto. And outside of that school, which actually has quite a good success rate for getting into things like Netflix.
Yeah, Toronto Film School is a pretty big deal. And yeah, if you happen to go down and audition for that and get accepted, that's a pretty good start for any aspiring actor's career. Apparently, and you can read all this on cabinradio.ca, met his agent there, and like you said, starred in a McDonald's commercial in 2012. You can watch that commercial. We got that linked right in the story there. And as well, you can watch the official trailer for October Faction, which is what Gabriel will be starring in, again, debuting tonight on Netflix. That is very, very exciting. Also, yeah, you mentioned that he's been in a couple things. His other credits, also mentioned in the story here, include Impulse, Slasher, and Reboot: The Guardian Code.
Reboot, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So he's already got a little bit of a back catalog.
He is a seasoned actor at this stage.
That's amazing. Well, good for Gabriel. And, if any of Gabriel himself or any of his friends are listening, definitely send him our best wishes here from the cabin. And very much looking forward to the debut of October Faction tonight on Netflix. Make sure you check that out.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
We're on the up and up as far as the sun rising earlier and earlier. We are slowly coming out of the dark. Still a ways from sunrise, about an hour, about 9:30 a.m. I think we're at, give or take right now. So there's still, when we're doing Mornings at the Cabin, still a spookiness to the outside of the cabin Studio One window here. And you brought something to my attention just earlier this morning that a lot of ravens around.
Yeah, it actually came up last night. We did Clams and Moose.
A live version, which was awesome. The girls did great. Nice.
And Kamala brought up that there's a lot of ravens around. I went, you know what? There is. I was at Ready Mart, and the little awning that goes over the sign, the Ready Mart sign. It's a bit of an awning. You can actually go underneath. Well, you can't. Birds can go underneath it. And there were tons of ravens. I could hear them. And then just this morning over at the Scotiabank, there's tons of ravens. So I'm wondering why...
Pronounce that again?
Ravens?
No. Scotiabank.
Scotiabank?
You said it weird.
Did I say it weird?
Scotiabank.
Oh. That would be my accent. I'm not from here.
Well, I mean, you've obviously lived here a lot longer than I have. And when you said that, you're like, you notice all the ravens out there? I'm just like, AJ.
Yeah.
You've been here a while.
Your first raven, huh?
I know I cannot be the most observant person either. But come on, man. There's ravens everywhere.
Yes, and they are a bit of a pest. Actually,
you think so?
A few months ago, my roommate, who is from Ontario, and he hadn't lived here very long. He'd only been here a couple months. The garbage was full.
Yeah.
And he put it outside on the deck. And he thought, I'll just go have a shower, and then I'll bring it out to the bin on my way out. Yeah, within 5 minutes, I came home and there was garbage all over the deck. So I had to sit and I was like, hey, look, man, it's my fault. I forgot to warn you about the Ravens.
Yeah.
You cannot put garbage outside for more than 30 seconds.
No.
Because they're watching this place.
I like to think they keep us accountable.
Oh, they're scoping places out.
Yeah.
And they remember you, too.
Yes.
Like, if you shoo them away and you bug them,
they'll
come
kill
back.
you.
Yeah, they'll come back in hordes. Actually, no, what's a group of...
A group of ravens is called an unkindness.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Or a
ravens.
Congress.
A Congress. So I
Yes.
didn't know about that one.
Yes,
That's
I do remember that
So
now.
much more diplomatic.
Yes, an unkindness or
I don't
a
like that.
Congress.
It doesn't. Well, you know what? It kind of does suit them because they're so smart and they're so organized.
They are organized.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Congress organized?
Maybe Congress isn't a good enough word for them. Yeah, in that case.
It's devaluing them, if anything.
A little bit. Yeah, doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pointed it out. You're like, take a look outside. Look at the Scotiabank sign. And so we can kind of see that from the Studio One window here. And I peeked out, and of course it's still dark, and ravens are black,
Yes.
as we all know. So you really can't see them when, it's not daylight yet. But I could see their tails hanging over the top of the Scotiabank sign.
Yep.
And I counted about 7, which I don't
there's
know
about
if it...
double that. This morning when I
Oh,
came
really?
in, yeah, there's about 15 of them there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why they're starting to group up and there's so many around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some Kamala mentioned last night that she heard that it could be there's a predator around.
Oh,
And
what kind of predator?
well, see, and instantly I'm like, ooh, maybe there's a wolf around town or something like that. I thought, well, why would a raven be concerned about a wolf?
Yeah.
Dummy.
Or maybe they're just warning us.
Maybe.
Maybe we don't, again, give them enough credit. And,
It's true.
they're actually kind of on our side. They're like, hey, these people, they
Heads
produce all this garbage. We really like eating that. So maybe it's in our best interest that they stick around.
Yeah, they're starting to reduce their waste, their carbon footprint. We need to put a stop to this.
That's right.
Let's group up together at Scotiabank, and we'll have a discussion, and we'll make sure that the humans go back to creating way more waste so we can eat more food.
So that's one theory.
That's one theory.
Maybe
So I Googled it, and I can't find anything about why they would do this.
Okay.
I did find some interesting facts, though. Increasing raven populations threaten some vulnerable species, including desert tortoises.
Okay, I think, we had one tortoise, notoriously.
Well,
that thing is long dead.
Exactly. We haven't seen a desert tortoise here in forever. I think it's because of the ravens.
But you think the ravens were to blame for that tortoise
Sure.
escaping and trying to find its
Sure.
freedom and, without question, freezing to death?
The tundra is the northern desert. It is a desert.
Ah.
So we definitely could have had tortoises, but because of all the ravens, that's why we don't have them.
Okay.
Wrap your mind around that, Lecter.
Okay. I'm trying. When you brought it up, I started trying to think of what could that be? You brought up the predator thing. I was like, okay.
Here's another
maybe,
fun fact.
I don't know.
They've been implicated in causing power outages. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
know.
Yeah, we had
That's why there's a bunch of weird bird noises coming from our power plant.
we had a somewhat short-lived satirical news site based on exactly that phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And until we discovered that morons were shooting the the internet fiber optic cable, I think we were pretty prepared to blame that one on ravens too.
Maybe that's why they're here. They're just pissed that we keep blaming them for
Just
everything.
sick of being blamed
My
for our
garbage
crap.
is everywhere. Ravens. The power's out. Ravens. It's freezing out here. Ravens.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. If they're sick of our crap, I
Stay
get
on
it.
high alert, Yellowknife.
I get
Stay
it.
on high alert.
We also got a particularly crazy email the other day, and it just kind of my brain made an odd, tenuous connection to this increased ravens population and this crazy email because it did have a very sort of like not quite a like apocalypse, like end of the world type
Definitely
theme to it.
scary biblical.
I'll just read the opening few lines and and actually first I'll the title of the email was in all caps, "It's time." Right there, you're just like, oh boy.
Oh no.
What's
Yeah.
it time for?
We've got these emails before.
And then the person tagged the email message with read, believe, and share.
No,
Which is maybe the strongest indication that you should do none of those things.
I didn't.
Nevertheless, here we are. And I thought, well, the weird things are happening outside. We got a weird email. Maybe there's some connection there. It started out, do you enjoy being lied to each and every single day?
No, I don't.
Not everything is as it appears in this world.
Go on.
Do you even know you're being lied to? Do you?
I didn't even question it till now.
In this instance, I urge you not to believe any of the following words I write. Check. I only implore you to seek the, in all caps, truth, and come to the, again in all caps, truth, on your own terms.
Is this a warning about ravens?
I don't know. Of course,
Don't believe them. They're liars.
Of course, you are free to think and believe as you will, as this is a gift from God. He has given us the gift of free will. Maybe against my better judgment, I think I stopped reading about right there.
That's probably in your best judgment.
There might be some Raven stuff. My attention span is not long enough because this really goes on. There's 6 pages to this,
God.
and it goes on and on.
That's
like
longer than this break.
Perhaps. Perhaps a little more investigation is needed. I mean, we got to cover all our bases. We can't just have Ravens ganging up on us and not know why.
It's true. Carry just a little bit of garbage in your pocket everywhere you go, in case you need a distraction.
Wise words from AJ Goodwin.
Go get the Snicker packet.
And I think that will wrap things up here on Mornings at the Cabin.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.